Truth be told, in these days we living in, I got more love for dogs than I do for people. You see, a dog doesn't know how to lie. You see, a dog doesn't know how to be fake. And a dog doesn't care about money. All a dog care about is love. Now, the story I'm about to tell you is a real one, with real people and real dogs. Welcome to Story Time.
Hello, everybody. Peace and blessings. Hope everybody is doing okay out there. Hi, my name is Zeb from We Know Dogs. Today on Storytime, we talking about a Labrador mixed dog from Fort Myers, Florida, named Nova. Okay. From the details we found on this fascinating case down there in Florida, Fort Myers, was a black and tan dog and her owner, who is also a retired veteran from the military. Her name is a woman that goes by the name of Indigo. Now, the story goes like this. This veteran was living in Southwest Florida. She adopted a 12-week-old puppy from a local animal shelter. The shelter workers looked at the black, floppy-eared pup and gave her a standard label, okay? So basically, they looked at this pup and they profiled it and said, she looks mixed, she looks friendly, she's a puppy anyway. She has these tiger stripes. She looks like a Labrador in the face. Let's just call her a Labrador, get her out of here to the next person, and that'll be that. But little did they know, real Labradors do not have tiger stripes. Real Labradors do not have floppy ears. And in reality, this woman just adopted a Fila Brasileiro, aka a Brazilian Mastiff. Okay, now this is a man-stopping breed. Okay, not a joke. These puppies grow up to be only certain type of dogs around your house. Okay, their traits are tracking and capturing. Okay, herding and controlling. Okay, hunting large game dogs like jaguars and wild boars. Okay, those aren't round the way little vermins. Okay, those are serious predators that these dogs don't mind going up against. Okay, they guard ranches, property, and plantations. These are guard dogs, not friendly, cute, cuddly Labrador retrievers. This is not a Labrador retriever. And this what this innocent woman adopted at this shelter, not knowing what she just got herself into and what this dog is going to grow into one day. Now, these dogs hail from the beautiful, gorgeous, and stunning country of Brazil. Now, it's not known how Nova was imported and made it to Fort Myers, Florida. It's not the dog's fault. The dog didn't buy a plane ticket, board a plane, and make it to a shelter in Florida. The dog was bred and born from a litter and just ended up in the situation that it ended up. Okay, from maybe an irresponsible breeder or maybe just escaping and running off somewhere. Okay, we don't know the origins of how the dog made it to the shelter, but we cannot blame the dog. We cannot blame the dog. You have to start with the breeder and the owner, first and foremost. Now, the reason this situation isn't as innocent as it portrays and as it looks, and it not just being a mistake from the animal shelter, because if the animal shelter knew that when it comes to felines, the Brazilian Mastiff, they are on a top 10 worldwide ban list of dogs. Okay. To be in the top 10 of banned dogs list worldwide, you got to be somewhat of a serious, well-known dog with the history to get on that list. They don't put Chihuahuas on that list, okay? Make no mistake. The same traits that made the Fila legendary on a Brazilian ranch make them extremely problematic in a modern, densely populated society, and especially when you think you're adopting a Labrador, but you accidentally adopted a Brazilian Mastiff. Now, the core reasons this breed was banned in a lot of countries, I'm going to give you a few. One, because of their stranger aggression, okay? It's not trained. It's actually bred in them. Two, they're unpredictable in public settings, okay? That's the Brazilian Mastiff. Three, their size and their strength can cause severe damage, okay? Four, they're unsuitable for inexperienced owners, okay? This is a breed that even if you have experience, you have to be very careful, okay? Five, they're a public safety and a liability. So the bottom line is, okay, because we love Brazilian Mastiffs and we know it's never the dog, it's always the owner, okay? You should always only get dogs that fit your lifestyle, that you have experience in, that you have researched and it fits your life and you have the time and the money. Bottom line, the Fila is not a bad dog. It really isn't. It is an extraordinary purpose-bred animal that is perfectly designed for a very specific, now obsolete role, guarding isolated rural estates in a pre-modern setting. In that context, its aggression towards strangers was a feature, okay? In a world of neighborhoods and leashes and laws and front yards and suburbs, that same trait becomes a serious public safety issue. It's one of the most extreme examples of a working breed whose temperament is simply mismatched with its surroundings and domestic life outside of a very specific controlled environments. So the way this story went viral and made it to the news, because Filas are incredibly rare in the United States and are legally restricted or completely banned in just a bunch of countries. They're aggressive, powerful guard dogs with extreme aversion to strangers. So finding a purebred, highly restricted, exotic guardian breed casually sitting in a local Florida shelter disguised as the friendly family Labrador mix is practically unheard of, okay? This is totally unheard of. But in this story, crazy story about a Fila, Brazilian Mastiff, it actually had a very happy ending. Despite the initial panic of realizing she was handling one of the world's most intense guard dog breeds, the owner's military training kicked in. She leaned heavily into strict handling and training, and the dog ended up becoming an incredibly well-behaved companion. The owner now uses what she learned training her Fila to veterans to train their own service animals around Florida. And quick side note, what made her DNA test a dog was a professional dog trainer took one look at Nova's massive size and her loose skin and distinct pacing gait and intense protective instincts and told Indigo, there was no way your dog is a Labrador mix, prompting her to order to get a DNA test on the dog because the dog didn't look at all like a Labrador. So hats off and thanks to this professional dog trainer for spotting the signs and seeing the looks on what her dog definitely wasn't. So an amazing story from Florida, the Brazilian Mastiff. And that's it for this episode of We Know Dogs Story Time.